Hey, welcome to another episode of Becoming a Cop on YouTube live. And with me tonight is Donovan Heavener. He's Mr. Happy tonight, man.
I am.
You're super happy. What's going on with you, man?
I'm always happy.
Well,
you saying I'm a grumpy man or what? What are you saying?
No, I'm not saying that. You got a lot of extra energy tonight. You're just having fun.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to be talking about something very important. I think it's important. I think it's a big deal because we're going to be talking about will AI overtake background investigations? Because there's a lot of stuff that's going on with AI. And can AI actually take over the background investigation and the background? What will happen to BIs?
I don't know. Did you see that documentary on AI?
Which one?
Boy, I think it's on Hulu or Netflix. I don't know, but man, they're talking about, and there's a new generation coming out. I think it's AGI. I don't know what the heck it stands for, but I think we're moving into Terminator realm now.
Uh-oh. What does that mean? What happens if...
What do you mean? It's going to take over the world.
I was looking this up with my friend Copilot, who's who's AI, and AI. I mean, Copilot gave me a bunch of good information as far as tonight goes. But I just think that I think that people should be afraid of AI. I think it can. I think it can be problematic for all kinds of stuff.
It's scary, the amount of work you can do in seconds.
It is, and we're going to go over a little bit over that tonight. But where did I go with this? Where's my thing? There it is. We're going to find out. We're going to talk about AI because a lot of people don't realize that AI plays a big part in streamlining the background investigation and all the stuff they can do. And as I was researching for this episode, I was intrigued by how much AI can actually do and how people can actually use AI to enhance their own PHSs, their own applications too.
Among other things.
Among other things. We have, let's see, Harjot Dylan is here. Welcome. And he says that he or she, I don't know if it's a he or she. I know Fairfax PD uses AI report writing. Yeah, Donovan was talking about that. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight as well. And what's this, Donovan? True Axon body cam.
Yeah, Axon's really kind of pushing the market right now on doing your reports from your body cam footage. So it just transcribes the entire thing and then puts together a report. So you just have to fact check it basically.
But we were talking a little bit about this. So while we're talking about it, let's talk about AI in patrol, and then we'll get into the background part. So what I know about AI in patrol and body cams and things, they you can. I'll say this, and then you kind of slip in and tell me what you think, or correct me if I'm wrong. But with AI and body cams, they can write the reports based on the body cam footage and the audio. But there was also the downside to it is LAPD was toying with using AI to analyze body cam footage for traffic stops to what's the word I'm looking for? To see what the officer's tone was.
To Monday morning quarterback.
And the AI would do the work of 100 sergeants and pick out thousands of hours of body cam footage, and then you could possibly ding the officer because their tone in how they talk to a traffic violator was. So I don't think that's a good idea to micromanage like that.
No, and most unions now, if you work for a place that is a union, they have it in their contracts that they can't use the AI to just surf the video willy nilly. I mean, because even when body cameras came out, that was the biggest concern, is that there'd be a supervisor just sitting there watching the video,
Yeah.
looking for people to screw up. And now AI does that for them. I mean, it looks for just not even tone, but certain words, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it can go through everything.
But I would think that supervisors or police departments would have something better to do than to see, because the whole purpose of it is not to go, oh, good job, good job. AI picked out how you talk nice to this traffic violation. That's not the point of it.
Yeah,
The
I've
point
never
is
heard
to,
it. I've never heard anyone say, "Hey, I got an attaboy because AI
right,
found a great thing."
right. It's to burn police officers.
That's
That's
exactly
the
what
whole
it is.
point.
Yep. Yep.
So that in itself, that's a whole nother subject with regard to patrol and all that kind of stuff. So let's go into some of the stuff that we want to talk about. And if you have questions for us, you can ask us. But the first thing I wanted to cover was the AI tools. Now, all these little talking points came from Copilot, and it says that AI tools can scan public records. Okay, you send it to a website, it can scan court databases. Not sure about that. Civil filings, not sure about that. That's a court database. Employment history, not sure about that. Address history, nope, not sure about that. And social media in seconds if it's a public thing. What do you think about what AI came up with, how AI came up with this?
The public records, the database, the court databases, I think those are difficult. I mean, I'm sure there's a programmer out there who says, yeah, we can do it. We're doing it. I don't know of it, because like court databases, even to get into them, if they're for free and you can look names up, you still have that, whatever that thing is, where you got to click that you're a human, or you have to pick 7 sets of stairs out of 12 pictures and you never pick the right one, all that kind of stuff, So I don't know if the AI is able to get in there and do that stuff. What I do know is if you have a bunch of records like that from court databases or employment history, let's just use the work number. What is it? Experian, I think they're the ones who own the work number. You get this big document, of all these work history. You can throw it into one of the AIs, and it can put together a nice like graph for you or chart for you on the employment history, at least so dates they started, dates they ended, that kind of stuff that's in that filing. But I think it's tough when you're talking about the public records area. I think it's tough for for AI to get in there, because it's always looking for a human to be doing that.
Yeah. So when it says it can scan public records, there are websites that you have to, you can Google something and someone's name comes up and you got to click on the website. You go to the website, but you have to input the information. AI is not going to just automatically populate the boxes. And then court databases, most of the time you either have to have an account, or if they're free information on the Superior Court websites, you got to plug in somebody's name to find out if there's court records. So I'm not sure how you do that using AI. Civil filing, same thing. Employment histories. You mentioned like the work number, things like that. You still have to input the information in.
You do, yeah, because it's tough there's nothing really out there in the free market to get any employment history. You have to do something to get in there. So I don't know how AI would be scanning that stuff.
Yeah. I'm not sure how it thinks, or maybe it's forward thinking that if you had an account of some kind that access employments, or, and it could do that, automate that for you. I don't see how that will work. Social media, if you have a public account, but I honestly, of all the candidates in recent times that I've spoken to, all their social media is locked down. They're not public accounts. And so
it's not locked down. Most of them aren't locked down, Ken. You get all the good ones coming to you. That it's not locked down. I mean, as long as if you have, and there's ways to do it. I mean, that's where social media or where AI is good, but they do have, if you're just trying to use ChatGPT or Copilot or that, there's built-in blocks in there that will not just go out and search all of social media for a name. Um, there's programs now that are being built, and that we've used in the past, like Guardian Technologies uses it. Um, Vetted uses it, and they can go out as long as you have the username for each account. They can start pulling all that public information, anything that's open to the public, put together records, and used to just be based on words, keywords, all that kind of stuff. Now with social or with artificial intelligence, it's able to actually look at those photos, not rely on the data, but actually look at the photo to tell if it's something to be concerned about. So that is a help in the social media field.
But what do you mean by it's not locked down?
You don't have your account set to private where it's only friends who can view it. If your account is set open for everyone, then that's free information. I mean, anyone can look at it, so we can use that for employment purposes at that point.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. If somebody has a private account, you can't get in there.
Private account you can't, but what I'm running into, the backgrounds I'm doing, they don't have it locked down. I know
Oh,
you said
really?
they do. Most people don't, and I go that extra step and say, hey, look, if you're getting into this field, lock your account down. What are you doing? This is stupid. Make sure I get on there first to find all the information, and then I tell them to lock it down. But
Well, one of the things that I would encourage everybody listening to this to do is to go to any AI. I use Copilot and Gemini, and there's ChatGPT and there's Claude and all these different AI engines. I would encourage you to go to one of those AIs, plug in your name, your DOB, and maybe even your address in there, and tell it to go and see what information comes up from the AI search. And you can it'll tell you all the information that's available to the public. It'll tell you where the websites are that it got the information. And I would say everybody needs to do that to see where they're hanging out there. There's a lot of times you can do a Google search and it may not show up.
right.
But I mean, AI can do that. It's going to search all the different, Gemini is a Google product. It's going to search Google. Copilot is a Microsoft product. It's going to search Bing. And so I would encourage everybody to do that.
And then when you hit the enter button to do the search, just watch your lights dim because of the power being used and the millions of gallons of water going to cool that processor down.
It does. What do you know about those AI? What are they?
Data
AI
centers?
Yeah. Why are
data
people so
centers?
pissed off about that?
Because I mean, it's using a lot of resources. I mean, they're diverting a lot of water. The power grids are being taxed so much because of the amount of power it takes. I mean, these things are incredible energy suckers.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's a concern. I mean, because again, it's housing so much information. It's going through so much information in what, milliseconds?
Yeah.
So it's kind of scary as to what's going to happen with these.
It is pretty amazing how quickly that you could actually have a conversation with AI and the information comes back so fast. I'm blown away by how fast the information comes back. So we know we're just at the top of how this all works, but it can be a powerful resource, but I think it's very limited. But the thing that I don't think it can replace the interpretation that says interpret nuance, credibility, and character of a candidate. That's going to take a human input.
It is. I mean, because we're looking at so many different things. And again, AI is not perfect. AI is only as good, number one, as a prompt you put in. And then the information that it has access to. So it's got to continue to learn. And Ken, I don't know if you know this, using your Copilot all the time. A lot of times I can just say, hey, based on our prior conversation regarding this, and it already knows what we're talking about. It goes back to all our prior conversations. So it's getting better. But it does speed up the grunt work. When it comes down to like my report writing, uh, if I just upload all the information I have on my references for like personal references on someone, it's going to pull out all the information I need for my report. It'll let me know if there's any things to be concerned about, whatever. I mean, but I still have to go back. I have to read everything to make sure that it is all correct. It's helping me formulate that portion of my report, but I can't rely on it 100%. I still have to do the fact checking.
Yeah, because AI does make mistakes,
Mhm.
and you can't rely on it 100%. One of the things that I wanted to bring up, this is what it came up with. These systems can flag violent content threats, drug-related posts, or inconsistencies. And then the thing about the PHS. So with everything in that list, aside from the PHS,
Mhm.
I was gonna ask Copilot, how many states allow background investigators to ask for a candidate's usernames and passwords? Because
I don't think there's a state that allows passwords anymore.
no state at all.
I don't think so. I don't know of a state that does allow passwords anymore. That was such a big deal. I don't think that's allowed anymore in the workforce.
Yeah, and I have to research that and find out, because if that's the case, that's good for the candidates.
Right.
But I can only see the limitations. So, oh, you know what? I'm just thinking about this. So let's say there is a state that allows passwords and usernames, or it allows the BI to say, "Hey, I'm not going to look at your stuff, but I want you to log into your Facebook or your Instagram." And then so they're sitting at the computer, they log in,
Mhm.
and then there's I know Gemini does this, and also Copilot. You can open it up in the web, and you
Mhm.
can have a panel, and tell it to see your screen,
Okay.
and then it can read everything on your screen. So if that was allowed, a background investigator could be logged into your Instagram account and tell AI, okay, crawl this entire Instagram account. Tell me if any photos or comments or whatever are flag those. How about that?
Man, again, it comes down to I don't know that any state even allows you to make them log in anymore.
Hmm. Should we do this in real time,
Let's do it in
Donovan?
real time, Ken. Bring up your buddy.
Hang on, let me find out. Hey, Copilot. Um, can police background investigators from any state ask a candidate to log into their social media accounts? Let's see what Copilot says. It thought no. In most states, police background investigators cannot require an applicant to log into their private. So roughly 28 states have laws that explicitly prohibit employers from asking for passwords, forcing applicants to log in, or demand. So there's 28 states that say that's a no-no. It says you can review public social media. Ask to list your accounts, usernames and handles. So just usernames.
Right.
See what's there publicly available. Let's see here. 28 states prohibit asking that stuff. What about states without these laws? Even in states without explicit statutes, investigators still cannot access private content without your consent. Asking anything behind, well, that's different. Federal privacy and anti-discrimination. Washington State, taking it for instance, does have a social media privacy policy that prohibits employers from requesting passwords. So 28 states have laws that says you can't do it. But what about the other states? We don't know.
We don't know. I think it might. I'm just trying to think if there's a federal stance on that under any federal laws, because you're asking to get into private content. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I think there's a privacy issue there.
Yeah.
I'd be man. I'd be hesitant. I don't. Again, with everyone I talk to, I haven't found anyone who says, "Yeah, we can do it." I mean, back in the day, we used to do it all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but now privacy laws caught up to electronics.
Yeah. I think we're in agreement that this is probably going to be a no-go, that AI is going to be of much use to the BI if most agencies aren't going to allow that anyways, because you really have to have password access to get into the accounts. But I wanted to mention the PHS, and this is something that would be good for the candidates, depending on how you feel about feeding your PHS into AI. What I would do if I was a candidate, I would grab my PHS, I would take out any private information like my address, my social security number, my driver's license number, people's names that you don't want in there, and or just feed the pages past the personal information, like anything past references, and then I would upload the document to AI, say Copilot, and say look for any grammar issues, sentence structure, things like that, or problematic things on the tell me about my PHS. And then I would put it in there and I would ask AI for an assessment if I'm going to get hired or not.
Yep. Yeah. Why not? I mean, it can't hurt.
Yeah. So a lot of times candidates turn in PHSs, they're just crap. And it's because they didn't proofread it or have somebody proofread it for them. But why not have AI do it for you?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Look at you, Ken. Look
Thank
at you.
Bless you, Donovan Heavener. Bless you and all your descendants and everybody that comes in contact with you. So that's our tip of the day, I think. Feed your PHS into AI, and then have it tell you where your issues are and all of that. Let's see here. We've talked about that. This might be a short show here tonight.
Oh, maybe not.
We have. Oh, do you have stuff too?
We don't know. We'll see.
Okay, because here we go with this. A background investigator might have to sift through hundreds of pages of records and a decade of online activity. So if you had, like a bunch of different documents that you didn't feel like going through and summarizing, you could feed them into AI, and then it will tell you what's what, right?
Right. I mean, and we had an example of that on the latest episode that just released with Police Applicant Podcast with Bruce Bieber.
Bruce Beaver.
He gave us it was piles of information, and for me and you to read through all that, it would have been ridiculous. So I fed it into AI. I mean, it was all public record. So I put it in there, and man, it gave a nice summary of everything that went on. It gave me a timeline of everything that happened. So it was really useful. Which again, I mean, background investigators are going to be able to use that, especially as we move forward. I think you're going to see more of the online platforms using AI to be able to do that, to help decipher that, bring up, make things in a format that we can understand. Because there's been times I've gotten police records that are super long, and they go into the system anyway. So I don't know why they can't put AI into it and formulate some sort of a summary for you from all these police records that you have.
So you're saying to incorporate AI into the background software?
Yeah, and they already are. They're incorporating it for report writing purposes. I think it's just the next step to help organize information.
Yeah,
There's no difference. I mean, taking all these, again, I don't know. I think the one I got in a report for like 56 pages on an applicant. I thought, man, 56 pages. Why would this person even apply? But going through it, they didn't really have a role in it, but I needed that summary to get through it all. That would have helped out instead of reading everything.
So a BI could upload the candidate's PHS and could flag problematic areas as well.
Could. Yeah. And technically, I mean, that's what the online platforms are doing right now. When you do any of the major platforms for your PHS, it's flagging to the background investigator. They noted this. This is something you need to be concerned about. You need to be concerned about this, that you can go straight to the spot in the PHS and read that section. It'll say, high usage of drugs or thoughts of suicide, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good at starting to pick that stuff out for us. And I think it's only going to get better for the background investigators.
So before we get to your stuff, because
Yeah.
you have stuff,
Yeah.
let's talk about, this is where I, the last time I wrote an actual summary,
Mhm.
I had to go page by page on the PHS. There was no AI at the time. And so nowadays you can feed everything into, you could feed all the documents you need that are relative to what would be in the summary, and then tell AI to write the summary. Is that what's happening?
Yeah. So, and the good thing, like where I'm at right now, we use AI. What we did is we bought into a package and it's not connected to the internet. So anything it learned up to a certain point, it's got the knowledge of. But now it doesn't gain any new information, which is fine when it comes to the report writing, because you don't need that new information because you're just feeding it new things. So names aren't getting out there into the AI world, which is nice. But yeah, I mean, you can take your whole package, everything that you've done, your report, you can take all your references, all that, throw it all into AI and ask it to write a summary for you. Now, again, AI is only as smart as AI can be, right?
Mhm.
I still it's the smartest dumb person I ever met, because it still spits out some really ridiculous things at times. So everything still has to be fact checked. You cannot rely on opinions from AI. And I've done this, and I don't know if you've done it. I've taken some things. I've got some legal things going on with my father's death, and I've run the same prompts through and the same documents through ChatGPT, through Copilot, through Gemini. I have not got the Gronk yet, but everyone's giving me just a little bit different opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is neat because it's like different people, right? Because everyone's going to have a little bit different opinion, but we still need to be careful with that.
Yeah. So you get to pick which. I wouldn't take AI, something that AI spits out, and just like turn it in without looking at it. Last year, I want to say it was maybe late last year or something like that. I was talking about something. I asked AI the question. So what did the president accomplish? And it came back last year. It said there are no significant responses from President Joe Biden today. And I'm like, I kept going, Biden isn't the president. And it said, my bad. President Joe Biden did not have any. I'm going, geez, forget it, man. So you got to double check. You got to double check AI.
See, I'm right. It's the smartest dumb person you've ever met.
But the actual, and like you say, it is getting better as it goes. I even have on mine, I think on Copilot, it's now giving me an option of 2 answers. And then I get to pick which answer I like better or which is geared more towards me. And then it's learning me too.
Mm-hmm.
I was just goofing around one time. I said, hey, Copilot, what do you know about me? And it said, Ken, you're this, that, and your personality is like this, and you're a deep thinker, and all this kind of stuff that I'm going, holy cow, just from the conversations that I've had and the inquiries that I've had, the things that interest me, I want to know the answers because I research stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was picking up how I think. And this is a machine. So I don't know if I felt about how I felt about that.
Ken gets
But
on there. What awards could you recommend for me? Because Ken likes a trophy for everything. Everyone's a winner.
come up with a trophy for every accomplishment. Yeah. So let's go into your stuff.
Well, I'm going to say let's talk about some things that are making it AI is making more difficult now for background investigators. Because AI is, like I said, it's the smartest dumb person around, but it is smart, and if you use it for good, you're going to be okay. People are not always using it for good. There's no question, and I don't know if you ever came across one. I've come across one in my career. Someone who went to a diploma mill and had a fake diploma created. Now, talking to him, he paid a little bit of money for that. I think it was like $50 or something, and it looked like the actual diploma. But when I kept saying, "Hey, I need transcripts from the university," they would just turn over transcripts. I'm like, "No, I need them sent in the envelope to me from the university with the stamp. I need it. I need it." Couldn't do it. Finally, I called the university, caught on to what was going on. Now AI is able to actually do that.
Wow. That's interesting.
Got to be creative on how you ask it to do it, but AI can do it.
Yeah.
And they can create transcripts. They can create diplomas. Again, got to be crafty on your wording, but it'll happen. So that's why background investigators have to check into it more with a little more intensity rather than just relying on that whole checkbox. Oh, I got the diploma. Oh, I got the transcripts. Where do the transcripts come from? Make sure they're from that university, then that they're not opened, all that kind of stuff. References can be faked.
Oh, that's interesting.
What?
I was just thinking about the transcripts. You could feed someone's transcripts into AI and give me a summary of this person's academic career.
Yeah. Which is handy if you have someone who hopped around from university to university. I just had someone who, I think 5 different universities, and you're trying to catch up on everything from each university. Yeah, throw it all in, have it spit something out for you.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me want to do actual background investigations with field work anymore. I enjoy what I'm doing right now, but I do find it interesting. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean, references can be cloned. And that's been something that we've always had to worry about once we got into the digital age with emailing out those references. How are they getting, who are they going to, who's submitting it back, that kind of thing. So there is that checks and balance. Some people will be like, well, I just sent that to you. Do you need any more? Nope. I just need to make sure you're the one who actually sent it to me. Thanks. I appreciate that. Those types of calls. So we got to be careful of that. There's just so many things that AI can do that, man, someone who wants to get into this and they know they're going to have a difficult time, they can use AI to make things look a little nicer for them, things that they submit. So it's putting more work again. And I'm one that's always big on, hey, this isn't a check the box thing when it comes to backgrounds. It's we need to dive into it. We need to look for patterns. We need to find out what's going on. We need to verify information, just not, oh, we got this, check it off. Got this, check it off. Got this, check it off. We've got to make sure that we have all the information we need. That's why agencies who rely on an applicant to get information kind of scares me. When they're asking, we're not going to pull your driving record from the state that you had a driver's license in, 10 years ago. Can you just ask for an abstract and send it to us? What are you going to get nowadays? You're not going to get much. Everything can be cloned now and changed in AI. So it makes it a little more difficult. Does that spark the wheels for you, Ken, at all?
Yeah, I'm thinking, what if you talking about references, what if you took all the reference letters and you put them in one file and you said, hey, summarize all these, all of them, and give me a composite sketch of what all the references think. There's so many things that you could do.
And one other thing that you can do is if you put all the references in there, you can ask AI to find redundancies, because if someone's writing it, they're going to be writing the same thing over and over, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be able to find those kind of things. So,
Mm.
and in the online programs, there's there are things built in to help background investigators know where um, those online forms are coming from, because we do get notification on what IP address it's coming from. And I've had that where all of a sudden it pops up, so and so just submitted their reference and their IP address matches the applicant's.
Oh, that'd be
And
interesting.
you're like,
Yeah. Really stinkers,
let's have a conversation about this. Why is one of your coworkers from 10 years ago sending in something from your IP address?
man. Mm-hmm.
They live 3 states away. So,
That's
um,
very true.
yeah. So, I mean, it does, I think it makes a little bit more work for the background of it. It takes work away, but it still makes more work. And I don't think AI is ever going to be able to take that human side of it and make those logical deductions from what's
Mm-hmm.
going on.
Yeah, I don't think they because AI does not have emotions, and they can't detect intent
Right.
and all of that stuff that a human can do. Um, so, do you have other stuff?
That's a big one. I know. I thought it'd be bigger than that, but
No, you got me all excited for nothing.
that's the way it goes, Ken.
But you're
That's
gonna
how I
have like
roll.
10, 20
No.
items to talk about. Okay, so the bottom line here. So, will AI take over background investigations? Copilot says not even close.
No.
Even Copilot says I suck at this. Uh, but but Copilot does say it will continue to reshape the early stages, the data heavy parts,
Hmm.
making the process faster and more organized. The future isn't AI replacing investigators. Humans still make the decisions that require judgment and integrity. I seriously doubt that we'll ever get to the point where the digital frontier will trump individual privacy rights. So I
Right.
don't think that there's going to be a database where AI can just go into and farm all kinds of information from somebody, because it's just they're just going to release all the information, and governments can just access your most privatest stuff.
Yep. Yeah, that'll never happen.
Yeah. So I think for me there's two things that I take from this. One is that candidates can use AI to find out about themselves, see what's available online, because a good background investigator is going to do a deep Google search and going to go down the rabbit hole of anything that comes up on Google or search engines. And also the candidates can throw their PHS or any document um, into AI and tell me some red flags. Tell me, do I have a chance of getting hired based on this based on this PHS, things like that. Um, you can put court documents in it and tell me what summarize these court documents for me, so I can fit it on the PHS. Or if you have something that's really detailed, Donovan, like a really convoluted story to tell the BI, throw it into AI too.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It helps clean up your writing. If you're writing something and you're like, oh man, I just don't know if it makes sense, throw it into AI, have it clean it up, read it, make sure it makes sense to you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an advantage. I mean, I don't know anyone now who doesn't use AI to help them draft some sort of a difficult email or something. I always have to say, make my email a little more friendly.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Donovan might not write fun emails where the person doesn't feel like a
My
moron.
emails come across as, all right, you dummy.
um, yeah, I think AI could be useful for background investigations. That's pretty much our take on it. And while we're doing this, I want people to know that you can get Donovan's book. I just got asked today. A couple days ago about interview stuff, and I'm bad on the interview. And I go buy Donovan's book, man, because he has a workbook and an ebook on the police interview. Plus, he also does live live consultations with you as well. Also, as always, my book on background investigations. You can find out about everything there is to learn about background investigation. If you want to, when you get done reading my book, Donovan, you will be a background investigator. That's it.
Well, then I better read it, huh?
You should read it. But other than that, I think that was about it for me. I think I got nothing else.
Yeah, that's all I got. Rob bailed on us. I'm sure Rob would have had a bunch to say.
Rob would have a bunch to say. And I think that we probably didn't get as many viewers because the ladies did not come in to watch. You know, when Rob's not here, probably half our audience is lost. So
Could we have had a AI Rob join
we
us?
could have done that. We could have had a placeholder and just put Rob's picture in it.
Mm-hmm. See, we got to think about that next time.
Our viewership would have gone up. So, okay, well, we're going to come back next week. We haven't decided exactly what we're going to talk about, but probably something a little more exciting than AI, something to do. And if you have any ideas, you guys, if you want us to talk about any particular subject, get a hold of us in the comments. We read the comments and let us know what you'd like to hear us talk about, because there's a lot of stuff that we can talk about. So with that, I'll see you next week, Donovan.
See ya.
All right.
Thank you.